to
all
school
the news.
later. When I was 28, I went to school, and I went to school in Chicago. Got my degrees there. And I studied in London too while I was there, so it was a good program.
That'll be a question, but I always hate asking people and be like, if somebody asks me, I'd be like, that's about it.
What?
No, a little bit.
Live check on the phone. Hi.
It's kind of like that awkward, you know what I mean? That awkward moment. So I'm like,
huh. All right, let's do it, y'all. Come on, man. Yeah, they ready. They want it.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora.
Let's do this
News,
shit.
weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Did we get the...
not yet.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. All right, the time is now 8:18 a.m., and you are listening to Good Morning Aurora and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. So we're glad to be live today at Tredwell Coffee, as you guys can see, and we are here with the dear friend of the show, Mr. Chad Dawes. What's up, my brother? How you doing? Let's get these claps. Oh, that with the sound of the claps. I like that. So we've got a lot to talk to you guys about today. We also have my co-host Christine here, best co-host in the world. Hunter back there doing the audio for us, and JV on the side. Y'all can't see him, but we can. Hope that you guys had a great weekend. Good to be out here. The weather is a nice, calm, pristine 73 degrees. Doesn't feel like 73. It feels more like a 68 kind of thing. Breeze is really breezy today.
Yeah, it is a little
All right.
cooler.
So there was a lot of good stuff that happened over the weekend, one of which was this. There's a voter registration drive here at Tredwell that went off very well. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. And also, shout out to the Quad County African American Chamber of Commerce and the Aurora Regional Hispanic Chamber on a ribbon cutting for APS Training Institute at 105 East Galena in downtown. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Quad County African American Chamber of Commerce and the Aurora Regional Hispanic Chamber. There was 5 ribbon cuttings in just 1 week, last week. Shout out to the city of Aurora for showcasing and making new businesses look good. The new businesses are Glam Beauty Supply and Salon, Scientel Solutions, APS was one of them, Dance Fuse Nutrition, and Surfs Up Aurora. I hear Surfs Up got good food. Saw some pictures of some like crab cakes with the fries, and they got the, the tartar sauce drizzle. Looked really good. Just eating my phone and shit, licking it.
We like food.
Yeah, we like food on this show. Also, the City of Aurora's rental assistance program deadline is today. Quickly, go to www.auroratacil.org/rental assistance. TAC is a dash for anyone who's not a sailor. So that's www.aurora-il.org. Also, the State of Illinois Emergency Mortgage Assistance Program deadline is Friday, September 4th, okay? Quickly go to ema.ihda.org to sign up for that. And I got one more shout out too to give. And this is going to be a local shout out. Now, there is a pollo and rice palooza. That sound you hear are coffee beans being ground like right now.
It's like fresh.
Fresh. Y'all could smell it, but you at home. All right. There's Pollo and Rice Palooza, Saturday, September 5th, not from 9 a.m. until it's gone. And that's going to be at Wabanzi Valley High School at 2590 Ogden Avenue here in Aurora. 10 pounds of chicken 10 pounds of chicken and rice per family. Pick up. Special thanks to Amigos Meat Chicago for their donation of 42,000 pounds of chicken, and Martin Produce Incorporated for their donation of 42,000 pounds of rice. Absolutely free. This is brought to us by our dear friends, representatives of the 83rd and 84th District, respectively, Barbara Hernandez and Stephanie Kifowit. And with that, that's the news. Now we turn into our interview with our brother from another mother, our sister from another Mr. Chad.
Hey,
Cheers
how's it
over
going
there.
out there?
Cheers. Good.
Welcome.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you.
having me on.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
This is great because every morning we do get Tredwell, so I was running late this morning, so to just kind of come here and just kind of like
Right.
sit down, and Chad actually got me my coffee this morning, so
Hey.
that was a treat.
That's what we're here for.
So tell everyone who you are and where you're from.
Sure. Yeah. So, my name's Chad. Obviously, gathered that. I own Tredwell Coffee here in downtown Aurora. My wife grew up here in the area. I actually grew up in St. Louis. I don't like to admit that to the Cub fans out there. But I did grow up down there. But we've lived here for the last 15 years, and we've really had a heart and a passion for the city, and we just love this, place. We love it here. It's home. It's where it's where we're raising our kids, where they're going to school, where I went to school and everything. So, college that is. It's just I just love this town.
It's a great community.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is.
Yeah. What's your educational background?
Right, like I kind of mentioned, I did, and I went back to college later in life as I got a little bit older, and I decided to go to a college here that's technically based out of Chicago, but I went to their satellite campus out here in Aurora, got my degree in business management as well as international marketing. The international marketing came from going over to London and going to school there, and then I came back and started a family.
I did not know about the London part, so that's interesting.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Not a lot of people know about that. I don't. It's not doesn't come up in conversation that often. So
It did on the first.
You need to drop that a little bit more,
First
Chad. Just drop it. Did I mention?
right. Oh, by the way.
Growing up, what impact did your mom have on your life?
Oh man, my mom. The biggest impact. In fact, she actually lives with us now. We moved her in to help her and caretake her. For her, she's almost 80. She's on oxygen, but I tell you, she's got the heart and the mind of a 28-year-old. She's amazing. She raised me to just love people and just to love life. And it didn't matter what background you came from or who you were. It's just all about family and being together and just spending quality time together. I was raised, like I said, in Southern Missouri, and we weren't even middle class. Like we were, that old joke. We were so poor we couldn't afford the OR, so we were just po.
Yep.
But yeah, so we grew up like that, going the discount grocery stores and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like we kind of had the same meals every night, and that was fine. I loved it. I don't look back on that and think, oh, that was pretty crummy.
Yeah.
I look back on it and go, that was life building. That's who I am now. So my mom played probably the biggest part. My mom and my dad played the biggest part of my life. So
That gets into a lot of what we were talking about, I know, last week, about appreciate what you have, not
Right.
what you don't have.
That's right. It is right. So, briefly, what was life like coming back from London here, starting a family and everything?
sure. I like how you had to preface that with briefly, since I talk forever. No, it was good. I was married at the time. I was just married. We had only been married for about a year, a little over a year, about a year and a half, when I decided to take to do that program, to go to London and have that chance to study there. So my wife stayed here. I went there. It was very challenging being a newlywed, and then all of a sudden being half a world away from your spouse. And
Right.
I'm sure a lot of military families can relate. I obviously will not compare my going to school in London to a military family, but I know you have the background. So, but coming back was definitely an adjustment. When I was there, I loved it so much. I wanted to move there. I actually started applying for jobs there from what I was studying. I wanted to go into it and live there. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we decided to come back, and it was an adjustment in the sense that it's just it feels like London and everything like that is so wonderful. It just, even though it's a huge city, it still felt small and still felt open. Well, then I came back here, my first, flying to O'Hare and then going into Chicago and stuff like that. It felt just more claustrophobic almost. I don't know if that's, I don't know. It's just kind of where I got from it. So,
Right.
yeah.
Now, since Tredwell has been here, it has become, I would say, a staple downtown.
Thank you.
Folks have not had any. I've met people who haven't had a single drop of coffee here yet, but yet they know that Wickwood was on the
Yeah.
patio, Maribel Skipworth played on the patio, things like that.
Yeah.
How has the journey been from starting day one to now?
It has been an uphill climb on a mountain. I think anybody starting a business from the ground up with their own resources, it's very challenging. I didn't think it would be that challenging to take the funds that I had saved up and pour it into this business, and then to open like that. And there were several times that I just kind of wanted to throw the towel in and just I even joked during when we closed down for COVID-19, we had to close down because I contracted it, and I was in quarantine for 5 weeks, and so we decided to shut the store down and go through that. And there were several times during that time of reflection for me that I thought, man,
Now's the time to
I'm
make
just
that
ready
break.
to let somebody else take the reins and go off with it. The thing that kept me going, and I'll just say this real quick, my best friend from childhood, we're still really close. His name's Ryan, and he named the coffee shop. So he's the one that a lifetime ago came up with this name, and he started by going into thrift stores and buying books and then repurposing them into journals. And he called it Tredwell because we were treading well while we're here on the earth. And he's kind of carried that name throughout. And when I went to open the shop up, I said, man, that line's so perfect with what I want to do. Can I have the mantle for a bit? And he passed it on to me. Well, now he's battling with pancreatic cancer. And so I've been just trying to pour that love back into him. And that was probably the biggest thing when, especially during coronavirus, when I was, down and out thinking about him and just like, no, I can't let his legacy go away like that. So I'm going to fight as long as I can.
Yeah, right.
So.
I don't think I knew that about the name, so thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it's one of those names that's kind of multifaceted. Everybody asks, where'd you get the name? And I say, well, it's not a name, it's a statement. So we're going to tread well over here. So we try to find every way we can to be responsible. We locally source over half of our products.
Right.
Excuse me. I shouldn't have leaned towards you. We try to locally source as much as we can. We try to be responsible and respectful to the people around us. Like you just mentioned, Wickwood House. We love to let them have parties on the deck. I mean, nobody can throw a party like Shannon. So, we love having our effing parties on the deck. We love sharing that and being a part of that. And so, I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, we just kind of love to be here for the community and not just in it.
Right.
That's been a constant theme, I think, through the guests that we've had on the show. Your name has come up so many times.
Really?
From new businesses, just anybody, just being like, well, Chad has really helped me out.
Oh, wow.
So I'm glad I finally get to see you because I haven't seen you in forever.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So,
So.
Wow, that's touches my heart. Thank you.
No, it does. Then it came from their heart of just like, who helped me out? Chad Dapper Brew said that too. Another coffee guy, and he's like, it was during I think Black Friday.
Shout out to Dap.
And he ran out of cups or something. And he's like, I went into Chad, and Chad gave me all these cups. And I'm like, that's kind of what it's about.
Yeah.
About supporting each other, helping each other, build your dreams, and not
Right.
being competitive, to a nitpicky way.
There's, I don't play that competitive game with customers. I don't look at customers as a competition, and I think that it may be what is a little bit different in the way I run a business is, a lot of people ask me, when I first came in, well, how are you going to be different than Indiro? And, I in all sincerity, Indiro's got a wonderful mission. They've got a wonderful business, set up. Everything works great for them. I'm going to be different because I'm me, and I'm going to do things a little bit different, So, and then when Society 57 came in, oh, are you worried about it? No, I'm not, because I love Scott. I love what he's doing over there, and Cody over there.
But this is TW.
This is TW.
Yeah.
So,
I'm the only person who calls it TW. So for everybody, for anybody who doesn't know, if you hear Good Morning Aurora say TW, we're talking Tredwell.
Yeah.
Let's talk coffee.
Yeah.
Gotta talk coffee.
Gotta talk coffee.
There was so two of the blends that I've liked the most since coming here are Tugboat, and then there was another an Uganda blend. It's a couple months back it was featured for
Sure.
like a week or so. What was the name of that?
Yeah, that was a Uganda single origin, actually. So it wasn't a blend. It was from Fresh Grounds.
Okay.
So we work with multiple roasters.
Okay.
Tugboat being one of them, Fresh Grounds being one of them. We love working with Five and Hook out of Wheaton. So we've got several different that we work with, and that specific one was from Fresh Grounds. So
Okay.
my manager Kara actually roasted it. So
Shout out to Kara. Oh,
Shout out to Kara.
Oh, what? She
Here.
roasted too?
yeah, Kara's not here today.
not here now.
No, she's but anything that comes out of Fresh Grounds, she roasts. So, and she actually won a Golden Bean Award for one of her roasts.
Oh, very cool. Shout out to Kara.
Shout out to
If
Kara.
you're watching, Kara. Awesome.
That was actually the last time I saw you. Now I remember, because during COVID,
Yeah.
I remember watching a live video that Cody put on over in Indira
Yeah.
on doing pour over coffee.
Yeah, that was a great.
And
video.
it was, and now I know how to do my pour over coffee.
Yeah.
But I came in here and got some beans, and you were closed, and you saw me on the street, and we were like, hey, and you opened up the door and literally
Yeah.
like let me in and
remember
told me
that.
about which coffee to buy, and then you sold me the coffee. So
Yeah.
and that's kind of like what it is, just about being small business and local.
Yeah, it's about
You get that type of attention.
Exactly. I think that's one of the things about that Aurora has in spades, because a lot of the businesses are run by people who have stake in community and
Right.
dealing with people, and so they'll go the extra mile for you.
Yeah.
You know, if that was
Absolutely.
Starbucks, they would have told,
We're closed.
we're closed. You know. Now I did come in here with Dunkin' one day, and it was not good. I was throwing it out.
What were you thinking?
I was coming to get my Treadwell. I had Dunkin', you know, I was about to throw it out, but I walked in here with it, and it was like, ugh.
No hate on Duncan.
Right.
No hate on Duncan.
Now, do you have a favorite coffee or brew or?
Yeah, I do. Every day, and you can ask my team. I mean, anybody on my team will tell you that my favorite drink is just an Americano. And so I come in, I drink probably 2 or 3 of those a day. I've got one in here already. Now I only drink, the small, so I'm only getting a couple shots of espresso at a time. But
Okay.
yeah, that's my favorite. I love it. Just straight up black Americano. I love it.
Nice.
That's it.
What about teas that you guys already have? I think already brewed.
Yeah, we carry teas from another local distributor, Octavia Tea, and we have at any given moment. I think right now we only have about 8 different teas to choose from right now, because they're just becoming so popular. We ran out, but we carry anywhere from 10 to 14 different teas at any given time, and then we have certain ones iced through. On any day we try to mix it up a little bit. Make it a little bit, but you can get any tea, hot or iced, anytime.
Ooh. Now shout out to Hunter, because Hunter
was-
likes the English breakfast. You was thinking about that
That's
too.
it was too. When we come in for our order, I'm like, I need three
Yeah.
coffees and a tea.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Oh,
he
that's
got a
the-
hot
okay.
chocolate today.
Okay.
So
He switched it up on us like a week now. Hot chocolate instead of tea in the morning
well,
time.
we got tea over
Yeah,
here.
my son loves you guys' hot chocolate too.
Good.
He loves the hot chocolate here. Hot
Yeah.
cocoa. Like,
Yeah.
I know. Treadwell.
It's because we use a high quality mocha mix. I mean, everything I try to use the highest quality I can.
Right.
For every product, even the hot chocolates. Every bit of quality is going to go into it. So,
Right.
And I have to ask,
Yeah.
when do we bring out the pumpkin spice?
That's okay.
I went there. I felt a cool breeze coming in.
That's okay. Because
Is that
you know
breeze
what?
messing things up, Hunter? You good?
We're,
Okay.
we're gonna launch the fall drinks, which pumpkin spice is included, in about 2 weeks. The second Monday of September.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's for those who know me, right? For those out there in viewer and listener land who know me, they know that I've kind of been, I haven't really switched things up for too many times. Treadwell has gotten me out of my shell in many different ways. The first time I started drinking pumpkin anything was here at Treadwell. The first matcha I ever tasted in my life was here at Treadwell. Now it's a thing for me. And my friends, shout out to
Strawberry
certain
matcha.
brothers who know me, have been like, they see the Instagram post, they're like, Curtis, you bougie now, you drinking matcha, oat, strawberry, and everything. But it's really good. And so in addition to the different drinks you guys have, the food menu
Yeah.
as well, and you're bringing out new items, right?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We've. I think the menu that we have now is a little bit too limited.
Okay.
You know, right now, as far as lunch goes, you only have, you know, 2 options. You've got the wrap or the sandwich, and that's it. Breakfast, you only have 2 sandwiches. So I am in the process of building a whole new menu, and we're going to go a little bit more, kind of what I wanted to do in the beginning, a little more Italian inspired, where, you know, we've got the paninis kind of already pre-prepped, ready to go. And when you come in, you pick that one, we pull it off, finish it off with the toppings you want, throw it in the press, hand it on out. That way it's a little faster, but yet the quality is still there. And so we're going to launch that in about 2 weeks from today.
Okay.
No, oh man, I just put that out there, so now it has to happen.
Now it's gonna
right?
happen. We're gonna.
Oh, you know, come on. The second largest city's first daily news podcast.
That's it.
Yes.
But yeah, we're gonna expand it up to. We're gonna have 4 lunch paninis. We're gonna have 3 kids paninis. We're also gonna have 2 breakfast paninis, and then also 3 dessert paninis. And I'm just gonna leave that one there.
All right.
Dessert paninis.
So the time is now 8:38 a.m. You are listening to Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast, and we are live at Tredwell for this morning's news with Chad Dawes. All right.
Yeah. So.
So next question.
Yeah.
When we talk about development and equity, and when we talk about what we want to see
Right.
in Aurora, let's start off first with how things changed from when you got here to now.
Well, I think anybody can see that Aurora is definitely going under just kind of this rebranding. I didn't want to say rebirth, like, because I don't think anybody's gone anywhere. I think it's a little bit more of a rebranding, a little bit more of a
Renaissance.
A little bit. You know, it's. I remember when I first moved here. I'll say the story like this. When I first moved to the area, my wife grew up here. She graduated from high school here in Aurora. You know, so she's lived here all her life. A lot of the people, because we did live over towards Naperville, a lot of the people would say, "Oh, Aurora, you don't want to go there. That's crime and all this
like
stuff.
Like Compton or something.
Lock your doors as you're driving through.
Right.
You know, all that just cheesy kind of stereotypical stuff. And I remember the very first time I came down here to downtown Aurora, I thought, no, I see character. I see heart. You know,
Right.
like there's some maybe scratches and scruffs and scrapes, I guess is what I was trying to say. But that all you got to do is just put a little bit more love into it, and I think that's what's happened. I think since I've opened the doors, I've seen all these awesome new businesses coming into town. Like you named the new ones there, but we've seen we opened the same day as Wickwood House and Branch Gardens. We've seen Warehouse 55 and Cotton Seed Exchange, Crystal House, a lot of these awesome businesses that otherwise weren't here. And
Right.
so that's why I think it's a little bit more of a rebranding versus a rebirth. I think it's everybody's kind of coming out to kind of help elevate the city as one.
Right.
So
That's what got me here. I'm
Yeah.
like, you can give me food anywhere, but I
Yeah.
knew that the people here
Yeah.
made a difference.
Yep.
And it was a good place to land.
yeah.
So,
Now, do you have any Aurora favorites?
I do.
Food
I
and
do.
everything?
I do. You can ask my crew. I can't get away from Taqueria El Tio.
Oh, the
Yeah.
uncle.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't get away from there. That steak burrito. Oh man, that's what the COVID weight is. It's really steak burritos. I say it's COVID weight because I've got that excuse now.
Yeah.
But I've got as far as food goes, I mean, I'm gonna hit them as much as I can. I love Dan over at Gillerson's, what he's doing. He's got some really good stuff going on. Yeah.
Very cool. So tell us about that shirt.
Oh yeah. So we said in the beginning, we work with several different roasters. So this is a shirt that came from one of our main roasters.
I love it. I love it.
So we bleed coffee here. That's our passion. That's what it is. And this shirt he had it drawn up, and it was all his image and his thing. And he gave me the shirt, and I thought, man, I'm running with that. I love it.
I like
love
that.
Yeah, we bleed coffee here. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, when we were talking pre or before the show, we had spoke about a local photographer by the name of Ivan Carmona,
yeah.
and we've got his book for the audience to see.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we pointed this out. Ivan, he's selling his book in here, and the reason why I really wanted to point it out is because He self-published this. These are all his images. He self-published it. You can't find this on Amazon or anything like that. And I think us and maybe one or two other shops, like I think maybe Cotton Seed Exchange, have the book, and that's it. So we're the only places you can get it.
Yeah, Cottonseed has it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cottonseed. Yvonne, what's up?
But yeah, I mean, the images he has in this book, I know, it's probably hard to see on camera, but they're all about his life and they're all about who he is. And it's all represented here just for what life is to him. He even has images in here as recent as the protests that happened, where unfortunately we had opportunists, bust into some buildings and stuff like that.
Right.
He's got images as recent as that in here. So it's an amazing book. It's from an amazing man, an amazing photographer. How many times can I say amazing? But I just wanted everybody to know that that's here, and you can swing in and pick it up.
All right. Shout out to Ivan Carmona.
100% of the sale goes to him too. I don't keep anything.
Right.
How much is the book?
He's got it for $45.
Nice.
So, and I think, and a lot of people, might say, "Oh, that's $45 for." But come on, he's a local artist.
Right.
He self-published this. It's not a 10,000 run book on Amazon where it costs him pennies to make. So
Right.
It's
Support
a great
local.
coffee table book
Yeah.
that you could put out there
Yeah.
and let people look at it.
exactly.
Now, also, as well, September
Right.
is Hunger
Yeah.
Action
September
Month.
is Hunger Action Month, and I just wanted to make sure that we shout out Marie Wilkinson Food Pantry, as well as make sure we support all the food pantries of Aurora Interfaith. This month we're partnering with Marie Wilkinson Food Pantry. We're gonna have this donation box sitting at the counter. You can donate if you'd like, right to it. I just ask that if you're gonna tip the baristas, tip them as well, just because 100% of the tips go to them, and I want to make sure they're getting their tips. But we do have that. We'll have it set up all month. We're going to be supporting them. We're going to be, you're going to see that we're supporting them. I'm going to create a list of items that we sell in a store, and if you pick any one of those items throughout the whole month, the profits are going to go to the food pantry. And so I'll have about 4 different items, drinks and food. Because last year we just did one sandwich, and not everybody liked that. It was a turkey sandwich, not everybody likes turkey. So this year we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna have a few different items, and any item on that list you buy is gonna go straight to them. I know several different businesses around downtown are supporting them, so make sure you check out all of them. Kind of make your rounds, and you'll know it because they'll be wearing stickers, or they'll be having these little stickers on their food to go, different things like that. So make sure you check that out. Donate, help those around us. Our family, friends, loved ones. Sometimes we don't know if they're in need.
Right.
You might not know that they're going to the food pantry to get their groceries every week. So, let's help support everybody around us.
Now, support is really big. And another reason why I'm glad that we're doing this episode is that you and Tredwell have been supporting the community in many different ways, one of which is with partnering with Ally Legion
Correct.
on Sundays,
Yes.
handing out food. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. They came to me. I was at one of the protests. I was hanging out down there, one of the protests, supporting, showing my love for the community. And I ended up just talking with Josh, and I said, "What do you need?" And he just said, "I need a space. I just need a space." And I said, "Well, what's the goal? What do you want to do?" And he started talking about handing out food, and enough said, let's do it. So we set up, we've got a little spot in here. You can bring in non-perishables and things like that, toiletries and stuff like that. We'll just wait till that truck goes by.
Flower machine, y'all.
Yeah,
We-
so,
live.
Live. But yeah, you can donate, and then every weekend, I know I haven't promoted this as best as I could, but every weekend, if you bring something in Friday, Saturday, Sunday to donate, you get a free drink, whatever you want. So just help partner with them. Ally Legion, legitimately, no questions asked. If you need food, if you need toiletries, if we've got it and you need it, it's yours. That's the whole bottom line of it. We're just here to help support the people, the underserved community. They don't get a lot of help and support sometimes, and that's all it's for.
Yeah.
Take what you need and give what you can.
Exactly. They don't have to give anything. Like, we don't ask anything from them. So, yeah. It's all driven by, people helping. Like Woodman's donated bags and stuff like that to help hand out food. We have a few different other businesses that have donated gift cards and money to help support it. people I've seen, we've got this one gentleman, almost every 2 weeks, he comes in with another load of diapers and this and that. He's like, I just went to Costco, here you go, and he drops it off. And
Very
so that's
cool.
what it's all about. It's just, the people supporting the people.
Now, we just had a voter registration drive.
We did.
Let's talk about that. How'd that go?
It went really well. First voter registration drive we've had here. I know that they've had it in other places, McCarty Mills, I think was their first one, possibly. I'm sorry, I'm unlocking my phone because I'm going to get the totals here for you.
No, yeah, it's all good. If you see phones on this show, it's legit.
I'm like sneaking over here. But no, we had it set up right out front on Saturday during, it actually coincided with LA Art Fest. And they were just out there just helping the people understand to sign up to the first time voter registrations, as well as helping people with address changes. A lot of people don't realize you have to update your address in order to be able to vote. They're not there to try to tell you who to vote for. It's completely nonpartisan. Obviously, we all have our own preferences, but that's not the point. The point is to empower people to exercise their right to vote. And I don't think a lot of people understand the gravity of that, like, the how big that is, that it is your right. And if you want change, you have to exercise your right. You can't sit on your couch and wish it to change and then nothing changes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we got the totals here. I was going to say, I just sent that over. And we got on Saturday alone, we got 5 new people registered to vote.
Good.
So that's we're on our way. That's the goal that Tyler, what up, Tyler?
Shout out Tyler. That's the Go Vote 500.
Go Vote 500
Right.
at Go Vote 500 came to me and just said, hey, I want to register 500 people to vote before November. And I said, that's great. Let's do it. I'm here. Let's set it up. So every Saturday. And I think one of them's a Sunday, up until October 4th. We got to adjust some of the dates on the flyer because we're not legally allowed to do it after October 4th. So
What's that?
it's just, I think it comes down to the guidelines. We can't help people to register to vote after October 4th. However, they can still go into the offices and things like that to register or update their.
That's right. The county clerk is
county clerk.
literally
I'm
10 feet
pointing
away.
there. Obviously, people in TV land can't see where I'm
Right.
pointing, but yeah, the downtown here, right here, the King County. So
And we talked with John over at All Spoked Up last week.
yeah.
Tell us about what it's like to open and run a business in downtown Aurora, and what are the changes you'd like to see or you think need to be done?
Yeah, I think, outside of the challenges that everybody faces, you get enough capital to open and realize you needed 3 times that amount, those are the challenges I think everybody faces. I think in Aurora, one of the biggest challenges that I've seen is we definitely have the support from the city, and I don't want to downplay that. I just think that there could be a little bit more help from the city. I kind of said this the other day, and this is what I believe. There's definitely a lot of assistance. There's just not a lot of help. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of programs and there's a lot of things there and available. There's a lot of things to all the business owners, but there's not a lot of help in navigating through all of that and making sure that everything that's available. And
Right.
so I think that's the biggest thing. I think if we could get something a little bit more cohesive on the food and beverage tax that I have to charge customers when they come in. I didn't know that as a coffee shop I had to add an extra tax on my, to my customers because the city requires that tax. And so there's a lot of things that we just don't know about, and you just kind of have to navigate through those challenges. Other than that, I mean, it's an old building and plumbing is, what it is, and electric is what it is.
That's why the
and-
coffee tastes like this?
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
No, that's not why. But yeah, so I mean, those are the kind of the biggest challenges I think. It's just where's the help?
More proactive.
Yeah.
Help as opposed to assistance. That's major.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, you can go online and you can see all
Or
these
assistance
different
as opposed to
links,
help,
and you
yeah.
can do this and you can do that, but there's just not a lot of help navigating it.
Right. So the time is now 8:52 a.m. Wow, where does the time go with these episodes? Oh my goodness gracious! Kind
Because
of
we're
make
hopped up on coffee, everything.
Yeah, seriously. Yep.
Three Americanos. Oh my gosh, I'd be bouncing.
So, what's next for Treadwell?
So this year, before COVID, what was next was building out our bakery. And so we brought in baking in-house. So we now officially bake all of our baked goods here.
Awesome.
We bake them fresh throughout the week. So that was the big goal, is to develop that, run with it, get that going as a new part of our business, as far as even being able to cater or do large orders for office events, over at, your office or something like that. And so we were really trying to work that, but then COVID, hit it. And so we had to slow that down a bit. So now our biggest goal is just to kind of regroup and then reset and then move forward. Last year we had big plans. We were going to expand and open a second location. And thankfully we did not, because we would have probably opened right, in March. And so it would have failed. And so I just, thank the Lord that just didn't happen. It's kind of weird, to think that. But what's coming up next is I am revisiting, expanding, going into another location. We're also going to expand our roasting. We do have one bean that we do roast that is ours. It's our branded roast. And like I said, Kara, our manager, roasts that for us. So we're going to expand that a little bit. And we're going to look into, hopefully by this early winter, possibly working on that expansion.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing for First Friday?
So we're not.
You're not doing
We're
okay.
not. I leave it up to my employees if they want to be a part of it or not. And they've all decided that no, that's just not something. And we have such a small space here. And if we ended up getting crowded, we can't social distance. We can't do a lot of those things. So we've decided to wait and not do First Fridays for a little bit.
Very cool.
But we are doing music on deck. So every Saturday from 10:30 to 12:30, we've got live acoustic music on the deck right out here. And we cleverly named it Mirabelle Skipworth. Shout out to Mirabelle. Named it Music on Deck. I thought that was pretty appropriate and fun.
Right.
So every Saturday during lunch, come on out, get a sandwich, get a coffee, listen to some live acoustic music. We're also doing live streaming once a month. The last one we just did with St. Astro was a huge success.
Oh, yeah.
We've got another one coming up. I don't have the date in front of me, I would tell you. But you can check it out on our socials. We've got it posted up there for another live stream that we're going to have. So
Shout out to Santos and Tara, St. Astro.
definitely.
Good friends. Okay.
Oh, and I'm sure that everyone is already following you, but how can people find you on social media?
Sure. We actually we planned in the beginning for expansion. So find us on socials right now at Treadwell Coffee Aurora. So at Treadwell Coffee Aurora, and then we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Nice.
Very cool. Oh,
And
y'all
our
on Twitter
website.
too?
Yeah, we're on Twitter too. I
Gotta
don't.
hit y'all up.
Yeah, I don't do it. It's hard for a coffee shop to do a lot on Twitter, so it's more of just sharing it so people can see that. we
Yeah,
shared
Twitter
something.
is Twitter's interesting. Twitter's
Yeah.
interesting. The gram is where it's at. Oh.
The gram is where it's at right now. So
Yep.
yeah, TikTok's coming up fast.
Oh yes, yeah. Shout out to the talk. Yeah, we got the talk,
Yeah,
which is kind of low.
I don't yet.
We got the talk, you guys. You'll be seeing that coming soon. JV, we talked about that. So I want to, before we end though, I do want to say, I want to give a shout out.
Not to the sweepers.
Yeah, not not to the city sweepers. I do want to give a shout out to the staff,
Yeah, for sure.
because your staff is awesome here, and they have become friends.
Yeah.
After all this time and everything. I know they're over there working hard.
Yeah,
back
we got
there.
Isabel and Noah here
Yes,
today.
we do. Isabel and Noah are here today. So shout out to both of them. Hi, Isabel. How you doing?
Isabel, you want to wave?
Yay. Awesome, awesome. And Noah?
Oh,
Noah's in the back. Okay.
No,
Yeah. Right, he's taking a break.
he's occupied.
Um,
Yeah,
Back was too. He thought he could leave.
I do have the best staff, and and it's, a lot of times managers like to, think it's all about them, and it's not. These young men and women that work for me are probably some of the most amazing and inspirational young men and women I've ever worked with in my life. Isabel, for example, I found her application from when this was River's Edge Cafe, and Amy had passed on a few recent applications she had, and I found it, called her up. She's been with me since day one, and now she's managing the place. And so the growth I've seen in her, and then and all the other team, most of them, you know, what I've very few employees I've had come in and then leave right away. And then most of my employees are, you know, they've been here either since the beginning or very shortly after.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So shout out to all the employees, man.
Yeah.
You got a good staff, my people at TW. So here's the thing. We like to end the show on a positive note, okay? Where it's Monday, it's a beautiful day, and we're here doing this live. It feels a little different. It feels beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
It's comfortable.
Noah, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Shout out. Shout out
Sitting in the
There's
chairs.
Noah.
It's like
This is
every
Noah
other-
right here, you guys. What I want to do is something a little bit different today.
Mm-hmm.
What's the message for Monday?
You're asking me to come up with the message for Monday.
No pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
Right. Doom, 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 doom. Under pressure. I do not own the rights to that music. I was just singing it.
Well, I think you can do what, 2 seconds of a song or 3 seconds or something.
Oh, that's where it is before they. Yeah.
I think, right? I don't know. There you go.
Ah, okay.
Oh, look, we learned something new.
Chad's
One
pressure.
wrong word.
You know, I think the morning message, I think, you know, we're also just physically exhausted from,
Yeah.
you know, the past 6 months.
Right.
And, you know, I think a lot of people are just mentally drained. A lot of kids going back to school, a lot of parents trying to figure out how to keep their kids, you know, learning while still trying to hold a job. There's just a lot of uncertainty right now. And I think, you know, the Monday message I would give is one I give myself quite often, is that, you know, I'm going to keep going forward. That way when I fall forward, you know, and that's just what it's all about. We're just going to keep going. And I think, you know, as long as we're open to helping other people, you don't, it's not that you have to go out of your way, but if you're just open to helping other people, I think you're going to have a better Monday.
That's excellent.
Kind of like what Chad said. Just,
Yeah, I'm not even gonna mess that up.
just
right?
be well, tread well.
Be well.
You know, do whatever you can.
Drink well, live well.
Tread well.
Ooh. So we thank you guys for joining us today on this live stream here at Tredwell Coffee in downtown Aurora. Please be sure to come in, check out TW if you guys are not already fans like we are. I recommend the coffee. The huge is what I get, but they also got great sandwiches and great pastries as well. What's the bad boy? What's his name? The baked hummingbird
the
coffee
hummingbird
cake.
coffee cake.
Hummingbird coffee cake. I know that was so strange on the mic, but hummingbird coffee cake. Please try it. You will not be disappointed. Here for another week. We thank Hunter. We thank JV. I'd like to thank my co-host Christine. I'd like to thank Chad for letting us come out and do this. Shout out to Isabel.
Thank you.
Shout out to Noah. Shout out to the entire Tredwell staff. We're proud to be Auroras. We got dreams.
Soon to be
Soon to be
American.
Right. We got aspirations, y'all.
Soon to be
Right.
Americans.
Well, we're the hardest working podcast in America, that I will say. But we're proud to be the second largest city's first daily news podcast. We thank you guys for tuning in to us today, second live stream. Shout out to everyone at home. Shout out to everyone working. We will see you guys back tomorrow for another great interview. And we've got Andre Pearson
Yes.
of On
Ooh, that's
Us,
gonna be a good one.
of the On Us